Buddy, welcome to another edition of the NoWayButUp podcast. My name is Marvel Bishop. It is a very, very special day as always. So as you know, this is the Basel with Bishop edition. It is kind of a little bit of a bittersweet kind of feel right now. Definitely sweet because I have an amazing person to my, I don't even know to my left. Relax. I'm trying to introduce you. You over here?
Sorry.
What is wrong with you? Like, okay. Yeah, now you're here. You know what I'm saying? But it is bitter too because she is actually the last person of this Basel with Bishop series. So it's really an honor and it's definitely a privilege to be sitting right next to this queen right here, Miss Joanah. I'm not going to pronounce your last name. I'm not going to fuck it up.
You see me waiting, right?
Yeah, I know. That's where you listen. That's where you come in. That's where you come in and say your last name.
Whitely.
Uh-huh. So, Miss Joanah, how are you feeling? How are you? How is your mental health? How is everything?
I am feeling phenomenal. I've been taking particular care of my mental health.
Okay.
With my self-care, meditating, listening to music that makes me feel good, creating things that make me feel good.
What's your favorite music?
Pardon?
What's your favorite music?
I would say neo soul, but honestly, mostly on my playlist, it's like reggae, dancehall, soca.
Uh-huh. I got you. No, the reason why I asked because I definitely get like a real like old school, definitely like vibe to you. You know what I'm saying? Even though I know I'm definitely older than you.
Mature.
Yes. Oh, mature. Mature. Right. So, all right. So like, where do we begin? I've been looking, I've one of my friends on Facebook actually is the one who pretty much introduced me to you, and I forgot who it was, but thank you to whoever did that.
Good friend.
Yeah, it's a good friend. But yeah, so I was looking through your Instagram, and you have a lot of dope stuff, like a lot of like very very powerful, very just very encompassing, like art pieces. So when I talk to people, I always want to go back to the beginning before that. So if you can just please give me the not so cliff notes of your journey into Golden Girl, into how you got to that level. So please.
So from as long as I can remember, I've always been attractive to the creative process.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was little, just watching people. I love people watching and observing them in their environments and what impact they have on their environment and the people around them.
Nice.
And I remember just basically replicating the tone that they create from their presence, whether it's graphite on paper or like crayon, pen, paint, whatever I can get my hands on. I always would just enjoy that process. I remember also growing up, whenever I would endure hardships, even though I'm a little bit of an ambivert, so I do a little bit of extroversion and introversions, but some things I handle internally, and art helped me to cope with certain things, certain hurts. And when I was unable to communicate those things verbally, that's how I was able to navigate and kind of, again, cope and experience healing in those places. So even with those experiences, I actually never took my art seriously. I never thought that it was going to take me anywhere long term. There was a period of time, almost 10 years, where I did nothing creative. When I say nothing, it's like physics, like organic chemistry, like calculus, and there's beauty and art in nature, but that wasn't the mindset that I had until 2016. So young Joanna, trying to be an entrepreneur, one of the things that I came up with was doing a personalized greeting card business. I ran the numbers and it ended up not being profitable, the endeavor, but I did come up with some samples. I put them on Instagrams, and the curator saw my stuff and was instantly attracted to it and asked me if I painted. And again, at that point, 10 years had gone by and I hadn't done anything creative. I said yes, though, because opportunities come to you.
Nice.
And you seize the opportunity.
Opportunities lost is never gained.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they were putting on a show, and in about 2 months, I cranked out 7 paintings and sold my first painting as an adult. And it was my first exhibit. So that was fall or winter 2016. And ever since then, it's kind of been a journey, finding myself as an adult, as an artist. And same thing, I think art is so powerful. It's definitely a platform that you can use to empower others. And it's a
Nice.
journey that's experienced by both the creator and the viewers. So that's pretty much what I use my art right now as again, a platform
Hmm.
to empower those that view and partake, as well as myself. So
So you said that there was a lot of things that you were going through that was very painful for your process, right? Um, for the hour that I've been hanging out with you, you seem like a very, very bubbly, very, very joyous, very happy person.
yes.
So I'm a type of person who I definitely have conversations with. You know, I'm kind of like outside of the box. I'm kind of like, you know, I'm not cookie cutter like interviewer at all. I want to talk about the pain.
Hmm.
I want to talk about the experiences that you pretty much gone through that has led up to your art. If you would share with that, and how did that propel you into the golden girl that you are today?
So, the reason why I am the way I am, well, one, I believe that joy and happiness is a choice.
Mm.
Like, there's so many
Can
things
you repeat
that
that again, please?
joy and happiness is a choice.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
There's so many things that can happen that you can't control. Your situation you can't control, but you can control how you respond. You don't want it to be just a reaction, you want it to be a response. So in my life and in my experiences, that's what I've learned, and that's why I try to project the positive energy that I do now. But as a kid, I mean, I came from Jamaica when I was 6 years old. And back in the day, it wasn't cool to be Jamaican or Haitian or
Mm.
wherever. So there was a lot of ridicule, a lot of pushback, and kind of I felt kind of excised from the community that I was in. And even though I was surrounded by Black people, I wasn't seen as one of my own community.
Why?
Also,
Why did you feel like that?
just I mean, I didn't.
Just off the reactions that you. I
Yeah,
got you.
right,
Okay.
right. From how other kids would respond to me, and then of course, Jamaican parents, Caribbean parents, they want the best for you. They put
Hmm.
you in school. They try to get you in the best classes. I ended up skipping a grade when I came to school, and they put me in gifted because I thought I had different thought processes than the normal child. So
Hmm.
then it went from me being surrounded by people that looked like me to people being surrounded by people that didn't look like me, and still not being accepted for who I was. So things like that. Being able to still be strong, because my mother and my father, they definitely poured and sowed life into me. There was never once where I felt less than, because my parents did a really good job in building me up.
Hmm.
But when I was outside of the environment of my family, or the home environment, going out into the world, I had to find a way to stay grounded. So art was one of the ways that I was able to do that.
So you feel that your family, because you're very family oriented,
Yeah.
right? So
Hmm.
you feel like your family definitely was like one of like the motivators that you had, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, what about any other outside influences that you had other than your family? Because like when I say encompassing, when it comes to your art, like I don't think it's not just family. It's like I feel like you definitely pull a lot of different sources for your art. So please
Yeah.
talk about that.
Um, Also, just the state of life, or of being, that we are in today, and the challenges of being a Black woman.
Mm,
So not just in my childhood, but growing up and being a young adult, being a Black woman who was a leader in whatever organization that I was in, that's predominantly white males, like that are again dominating that realm. So enduring different things like sexual harassment,
mhm.
or belittling, or maybe these people that I'm dealing with, they are they're older, so they remember some more racism, and they think less than of the Black woman, and don't anticipate me speaking the way I speak, or thinking the way I think, or being able to execute an action in the capacity that I'm able to. So going through those challenges and obstacles, and overcoming those things, and being able to stand my ground and communicate, and sometimes not just fighting for myself, but if there was another minority woman, or another minority period, that was
Uh,
there, standing up for them and letting them know, one, certain things it's not okay, it's not all right, and then two, making sure that that person felt that they had a voice, that their voice wasn't muted. So in those actual experiences, those types of things, I also translate into my art. Like my art is very much about what I experience on a day to day. Like again, and sometimes it's not just me.
Mm-hmm.
It's
So it can be a representation of like other Black women or just other people, basically.
Exactly.
Like the art piece that you had where it said, just because I wear something does not mean it still is no. Can you? What's the exact verbatim for that?
Just because of what I wear doesn't mean, or was it because of the way I dress does not mean I say yes.
Yes.
So me, I think that outside of work and church, I'm a pretty organic being, and like I think that we as human are very energy oriented. We're very energetic beings. So like being able to like be barefoot and walking on sand or on soil, or like having certain portions of my body that are exposed to the air and experiencing how nature and the elements impact my skin and my being, like that's, I think, is a beautiful thing. But just because of the way I dress, or I have friends that also someone may think that they're scantily clad, especially like growing up in the church, an old school Jamaican Pentecostal church.
Pentecostal. Oh Lord. Okay, I already know what time it is when it comes to that. All right.
Where you have long dress and
I grew up Protestant, so
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You have different things, different ways that you're supposed to be dressed. But just because I'm dressed a particular way doesn't mean that I'm welcoming or eliciting your advancement. And I've experienced that because
and your physicality too.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I've experienced, and I've had friends and coworkers that have experienced that if they're not dressed a particular way, or if they are dressed a particular way, they see a difference in who approaches, the number of people that approach them, and the quality and type of people that approach them. And then just the overall experience is typically not a pleasant one. So that was pretty much just bringing light onto that issue.
So do you feel that, so we kind of highlighted just now when it comes like, the struggles and like, the inconsistencies that women do experience when it comes to, life and all that. Now, how does that translate to the art world? Have you experienced any, I guess, resistance being a Black woman artist?
Not necessarily being a Black woman artist.
Okay, but how?
in the content that I create. So I have reached out or applied to a couple different residencies, and the feedback. It's also about tact. You should be able to communicate a thing. I'm definitely welcoming of constructive criticism because I'm always looking to develop myself in a variety of facets. But the way that it was communicated to me was not, okay, maybe you should think about diversifying the content.
But do you think you had that resistance because you are a woman, because you are a Black woman? Think about it.
That actually was never a thought before, but that potentially, now that I'm thinking about the other, not the candidates, but the residents that did get through, there were no other Black women that were there. I don't even remember there being a Black person.
No, I mean, I'm not really trying to put a battery in your back right now. You're like, oh shit, man, this fucking guy or this fucking girl, man. I mean, I'm about to go back up and say, yo, what's up?
Put my hands on them. But yeah, so the feedback that was given was basically like, maybe you shouldn't do, or you should stop doing your Black art. You should stop creating content.
You should stop doing your Black art.
Exactly.
So basically, they're telling you. Basically, they're telling you just stop living.
Yeah, to stop being myself.
Because I mean, I can't really. Because yeah, exactly. I can't really see anything else that everything you've done pretty much is of Black power, is of, like Black men, Black women. It's everything is Black. It's Afro at the end of the day. So it's like for them to do that to you, like they're telling you not to exist anymore.
They're telling me to take away a huge part of my life.
Why do you think like just the gatekeepers are like that in the art world?
Honestly,
Because when it comes to black people, because they don't do that shit when it comes to whites.
I mean, it's not just the art world though. That's prevalent.
Well, yeah, no, I know that, but this is, no, I understand. I mean, no, we understand where, I got you, but I'm talking about more so the art world, pretty much. Well, it probably is hand to hand, honestly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I got
what
you.
I think it's something. It's one of the ebbs and flows, and it goes across different realms and different what is the word that I'm looking for?
What's that? Or avenues?
Yeah,
or
sure.
Okay, got
Different
it.
avenues
Cool.
at the same time. So I think it's a mixture of ignorance, lack of culture. Like sometimes when people's spirits and hearts are hardened, it doesn't allow them to be receptive to different things. But in that sense, I feel, and even like just in my day in, day out, I feel sometimes it's my responsibility to bring this black girl magic to everyone. If y'all didn't know about it yesterday,
But if it's in your soul, then why not?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Then why not? There's really no other choice. So those are some challenges that I have had. Being a black, not again, I didn't think it was just being a black female artist, but just in the content. I'm very Afrocentric, and I think it's very important for us because, especially black women, I think we're regarded sometimes as the least. When there's a piece that I'm working on right now, and I haven't decided on a name of it, but we and black people, period, we're the foundation. We are the starting point.
Yes.
Like, the wombs of black women create some of the strongest, most talented, smartest beings on this earth.
Got it.
On the backs of black men are what this nation was built on. So that's something that I'm never going to shy away from. Since then I have diversified my art, but still remaining true to who I am. And even in my abstract art or more contemporary modern, I'm still incorporating my Afrocentric influences.
Let's talk about the balance. You know how when it comes to business, I can give kind of like an example, a little bit of parallel. When it comes to business, or when it comes to basically trying to you can make money when you're doing what you're doing, and then you got to do what you love, basically.
Right,
Now, in the art world, what you love is the Afrocentric beings. It's like, what you're showing right now versus what you are allowed to show is something maybe completely different.
Right.
So with other artists, black men and female, honestly, but most so black, give them some advice on how to really, battle that beast and battle that balance.
Honestly, it's still a journey for myself.
Okay.
You know that I've taken a social media sabbatical that ended today.
Yes.
But that's one of the reasons why my mental is healthy right now, because I've taken a sabbatical. I've taken a step back to kind of recalibrate myself, my mind, my spirit, my art as well, to see in which direction I wanted to go. The purpose is always going to remain the same, though, like empowerment of souls, making sure that my art serves as a conduit to one, incite action, incite change, even just overall just empowering altogether the viewers and the participators as well. What I have done myself, because even in the same pushback that we're talking about before, where these people were just like, stop doing your Afrocentric art. Instead of it being at first it was something that offended me. But then I chose to look at it in a different light, because I'm just like, okay, what is the lesson that I should be learning from this? So looking at it from a different light, it's now become a challenge to me. Okay, Joanna, you're bomb at this Afrocentric art because this is who you are. But now has been a challenge to me to explore myself in different facets and explore different forms of art, but still remaining true to who I am and bringing that same power and that same influence into these new forms. So that's, again, this is a journey, but that's currently what I've been doing to find balance. So like my abstract art that I've been creating, involving certain colors that I think are powerful, or certain
What kind of colors? What
shapes.
colors?
So a lot of my art, I want to remind Black people that we are royalty. So
And where we came from too.
right, and where we came from.
Yes, ma'am.
Because yes, all of us, we ended up different places. I'm Jamaican. You're like Aruban.
I'm a mutt.
Dominican.
I'm a mutt. We discussed about that.
All these things.
Yeah.
But all of us, originally, we came from Africa, and we're all royalty. So the purple hues, the rich red tones, the ruby colors, so those types of colors incorporating into there, or shapes, or textures as well. So I primarily use acrylic paint, but I do love multimedia, and a lot of times I will go out into the earth and like pick up some dirt or some sand or
Okay, nice.
seashells, grind them up or something, and incorporate it into that too. So it's just been being more creative in the creative process, really. And again, just staying true to myself. So that's been my balance, and I've been having a lot of fun doing it at the same time, because it's something that I haven't done before. I never actually respected abstract art before.
Oh, really? Oh, wait a minute.
I know.
Hold on. We kind of stumbled
No disrespect to any abstract artist. I just
Okay.
I just also I've known artists in the past that have quickly thrown together pieces and just pushed it out. For me, it's my creative process, and I don't disrespect anyone's creative process.
I got
everyone's
you.
different.
I got you.
But for me, I never saw myself doing abstract art.
Well,
just
your
because-
lane at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I'm multifaceted.
No,
Don't
you
limit
are.
me.
Yeah. No. Well, you're limiting. You're limiting the other people over here, Miss J. You know what I'm saying? No, I'm just kidding with you. No, I think it's really great that you actually use a whole bunch of different type of tones and different type of colors to pretty much bring out your art to empower, Black men and Black women.
Yeah.
Now, for me, I think you are the type of person that you love to empower people when it comes to your art. But my question is that, your cup always pretty much needs to be filled.
Oh yes.
So who fills your cup?
That's so good.
Who empowers you to empower others?
That is so good. Honestly, I think it's intrinsic motivation, and I think that's I think that's one of the most powerful motivators, because you can't always look outward to get pushed forward. Sometimes you can, but sometimes when things are hard, or your back's against the wall, or you have nowhere else to go, or you have naysayers, maybe you're surrounded by negative.
Got it.
You have to dig within yourself.
Got it.
Really, this year, what I've been doing is creating for me and not for anyone else. Because that process in and of itself, like the creative process, is something that's tranquil for me. It's rejuvenating for me. So being able to, on a Sunday morning, like wake up, the lights shining in, and actually like pick up the paint and just go and create, like that's something that makes me feel good.
Okay.
That, and then meditating, taking time to do the things that are good for my mental period. So spending time with people that are important to me, but also knowing when I need to like close the door and having me time. Essential oils. I love frankincense and myrrh. So just
you were shining when you came up in this, man. You were shining. I was like, damn, look at this queen over here. I was like, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, got me distracted for a little bit. No, stop. Well, okay, that's good. That's good. So
I also wanted to know,
go ahead.
Because yes, my art is very Afrocentric, but I love that the audience is not limited to Black people. I love that when I'm exhibiting, whenever I'm exhibiting my art anywhere, or doing a live painting or performance art, and I have people of different backgrounds coming, and I see them and they observe. And first of all, I love to observe them observing my pieces, because the different emotions that various people endure and experience, it's just a beautiful thing. And then there's sometimes where not sometimes, but there's always something that I want to communicate in the art, but being able to speak to the viewer and, and sometimes they don't know that I'm the artist. I just like, what do you feel when you see this piece? Like, what do you think? What do you think that would be named, or like what emotion do you feel right now? And some people, some people, they'll tell me stories of like a time back in the day with their mom or some hardship that they've endured, or it makes them feel a certain sense of pride or whatever it is. So I love that, even though like my purpose is to exalt the Black king and queen. It's not limited. The empowering is not limited to just Black people.
I think
or colored people.
I think the message should obviously, because it's by Black people, it's also for Black people,
Yeah.
but also the plight and the struggle that we also need to have is to convey the message to,
everybody.
yes, to everybody, basically, to understand,
everybody,
the struggles, basically, and to
Exactly.
give them, a different type of, perspective, because that's the fight that we are pretty much, we're fighting. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there is like internalized racism basically within our community, but more, I'll say, well, not necessarily more importantly, but the other message that we need to pretty much display is that, hey, we are also equal too.
Right.
Hey, we're here.
Right.
And, we're human beings.
And then sometimes it's like some people have never seen a person of color displayed in a certain regard with with that kind of regality before.
Mhm.
So being able to also converse with those types of people, and then just like, oh wow, like that's different. She's clad with this, or he looks like this, or it makes me feel this way. And then also having conversations to see, okay, well, now going forward, do you think this has changed your mindset in any regard? So I think it's a beautiful thing. Art period it's a platform. It's a beautiful platform that can be a tool, and I love that it facilitates healing, and it facilitates receptiveness and conversation, and again incites action. So I think it's a beautiful thing.
What is the most, like, the favorite piece that you have ever made?
That's such a good question.
So you have a whole bunch. That's why.
I
That's
so
why I'm not doing top 3. I'm not doing top 5, Miss J. I'm doing
My
one. If you
favorite.
had
Whoa.
basically, if you had the Golden Gates, and for you to get to the Golden Gates, you had to show your favorite piece, your most powerful piece,
My most powerful piece.
powerful and favorite.
All right. So one thing I'm also going to share about you, with you about me.
Okay.
I have had, and sometimes still have, a problem with letting go of some of my art because there's like emotional attachment to some of
Okay.
it. And I just love it so much. So there is one, if I would have to choose one though, I ended up recreating this piece a couple times. It's called Emerging Strength. I'm not sure if you've seen that one. It's a little Black boy with the fist.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's on wood, but I think that one is such a powerful piece because it's the title itself, Emerging Strength. I think that speaks to it as it is. It's a young boy, doesn't even realize the power that he has yet, but you see it just being built, just being formed, with the way that he's holding his head high, his stance, the fact that he's, throwing up his fist and showing that there is power, but you can see in his eyes that there's depth to it as well, that there's been pain and hardship endured, but you can see again with his stature, with his stance, and just the body language, the fact that he's ready to face whatever's coming at him, and that he's a conqueror, pretty much. Like he's gonna win whatever it is. So that one is one of my favorite ones, and I think that's the only one that I've done of a young boy as well too. So that's a little bit different for me, but yeah, I think that one might be my favorite one.
Cool. So Art Basel is coming up. Well, actually, when this is actually going to be released, Art Basel is going to be happening.
Right.
So kind of need to focus a little bit, but just give me your outline and your quick feelings when it comes to Art Basel. How do you feel about it? Is this something that you look forward to every year? Is it overrated? Please.
Well, I don't think it's overrated. I definitely think there's like even we're in right now Esquina de Abuela, and Fabian he took me to one of the walls the other day, and we saw an artist. I think it's the most beautiful mural that I've ever seen in my life. I forgot the artist's name, but he is an artist from Italy.
Okay.
And just the colors he used, everything was freehand. The fact that even the background, he incorporated the colors of the sunset. He's been working on it for 12 days. And when the sun was setting, then you see like the flow. So, I mean, for an artist, I think there's definitely a lot of opportunity and a lot of excitement that surrounds it. Also, though, I've seen it change over the last couple years. It's gotten more congested, and certain things are not kept up. There's some quality and standard that is not there like it was several years back. But I definitely think that it's still a huge opportunity and platform for a lot of artists, and I am excited for
Nice,
it.
nice. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think Art Basel is definitely becoming a little bit more commercialized than now. And the focus on the local artists when it comes to Miami, when Art Basel does come here, it's they're kind of maybe drifting away from it because they have like a lot of celebrity artists or whatever. But the one thing that I do like about Art Basel is that it brings artists together. And that is pretty much it's a community. So that's actually pretty much one of the great things. Ms. J, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
I definitely, like this has definitely been great. Before we wrap up, couple of things. Number one, I want to thank Esquina de Abuela.
Okay.
I said it right? Oh shit, I never said it right. You know what I'm saying? That Dominican side of me. You know what I'm saying? But no, I definitely appreciate them for them opening their doors to do this podcast interview with the lovely Miss J. Before we wrap up,
I love that you gave me a new name, Miss J.
Oh, you like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Saucy.
All right, So, Miss J, before we do wrap up, any type of advice we want to give maybe potential artists in their journey? Anything you want to kind of tell them with the experiences that we also talked about that we haven't really talked about either too, to give them some type of push in their process? I
would say 1, stay true to yourself. 2, keep hammering it out. Like keep grinding, keep creating. Even when it looks grim, or even when you don't really know what exactly you want to do or who you want to do it with or who you'll be able to partner with, continue to create, because once you put things into action and you put that energy into the atmosphere, opportunities will arise and you'll be where you want to be. So
Cool.
Keep at it. Don't slow down.
What does No Way But Up mean to you?
So, No Way But Up, that pretty much to me means any level that I'm on, any place that I'm at in my life, it's only about elevation. We're only going to move forward and move up and trying to get closer to God. And that's it. Got you.
Ms. J, I appreciate you. Thank you so much for everything. As always, thank you guys so much for listening and watching Basil with Bishop. It's a wrap. No Way But Up as always.